is a collection of
memories and people.
A zeitgeist. I would consider it a zeitgeist because it represents the life and times of high school.
It is a historic book, an emotion book, and a public relations tool for the school.
The yearbook is, I mean, if you think about it simply, it's a collection of events that have happened over the course of a year.
It really shows, kind of a progression if you look at all of the 4 books combined together.
And it's just a good way to look back and reflect on what we've done.
Kind of like a time capsule of what the school has been through.
Well, the first Cullman was produced by the class of 1942, rather ironic because they were, of course, the class that went to war.
1943, there was a British war refugee who was living here and graduated here. So the class felt very strongly about giving to the British war relief, and they did not try to have a published yearbook. Then my class came along, 1944. I was the senior class president. My classmates kept coming to me and saying, we are not giving our money to the British war relief. We want a published yearbook. So I went into the meeting with the senior advisors and the principal and all my class officers, and stated that we were not, because we had been told by the teachers that we should give our money to the British war relief. And I said, we are not doing that. My class does not want to do that. We want a published yearbook, and we will earn the money. And the 2 teachers, English teacher and French teacher, were angry that we would even consider bucking them. They said, we will not help you in any way. We will not sign the contract that you will need to have signed. And then the brand new history teacher just got out of the service, and he said, I will help them raise the money, and we will have a published yearbook, which we did.
Back in 1944, there was a theme
that had an egg, and then at the end we had a swan. So that the idea was that you popped out of your shell and you became a swan and went out into the world.
The thing about it was that it was in 1944, which is only like a few years after the yearbook first started being published by the students. So it's kind of odd that it was published in the first years and not in the later ones, around now, after the thing's been around for 7 decades. It's almost foreshadowing the progression of the school and its evolution over time.
The theme of the yearbook kind of ties the yearbook to that time and to that point in history so that they're forever connected.
One year we did it in magazine format. We had one section, the section opener was done in the style of highlights. Another Time magazine, and we used different themes there.
So the theme of my senior high school yearbook was lasting impressions. And I guess it was a pretty good theme because essentially all we wanted to do in high school was make a lasting impression, either probably on a teacher or on our friends, or I don't know, through some of our experiences when we went to school here.
The theme of the book was a senior class had disappeared. And we were able to engage an officer from the Fanwood Police to come up to school. He has his car parked out front, the light spinning, and the door is open. He's walking into the building to investigate.
The theme for 2015 was synergy, which means the combining of each of the parts that make up the whole becoming greater than each of the parts individually.
Synergy is kind of a representation of how the kids will, how they connect, how they work together, and that's like truly the definition of synergy, and it's truly the definition of SPFHS as a community.
We had some rather unique themes.
So coming up with a theme is we have a project at the end of the year where each person tries to come up with an idea that they think would best, fit for the theme. And everyone kind of goes around, talks about their idea, and sometimes it comes off something you said the theme, or it's the theme you came up with yourself.
And we kind of vote on which one we like the best and put everyone's ideas together into one theme.
I see your book as really having 2 different life spans. The one that's the now and the one that's, wow, I remember the then.
It's really fun to read it at the end of the year, especially when you feel like things are winding down, kind of.
Well, I just love taking it out and seeing the pictures of the way everybody looked 31 years ago. I just like when I open it up and read the autographs, I feel like I'm right back there again, even though it's 31 years later.
I would say that I pick up the yearbook maybe once a year, and I do get together with some old friends. I have the opportunity to reminisce and definitely reflect about the year that I graduated.
You know, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, something you can look back and reminisce about.
You're still able to see one place with all of those memories.
Because you have to remember where you came from, you know, from your teenage years on. You know, it's something that you will always treasure.
And so it has an unbelievable power to those people who read it. There's nothing more significant to a person seeing their name in print, seeing a picture in print, or seeing themselves and their friends together, because it's captured in time and it's forever. And there are very few things that are forever, and Yearbook is one of them.